because I always like to make my content as available as possible to everyone. Some of you are on Facebook, some of you are on Instagram, some of you are on YouTube and the podcast. So I try to share it in as many places as possible so you don't have to change your patterns in order to access my content. So as I said earlier, we're going to be chatting all about inflammation. I'm going to be reading from my newest book, Keto for Women. It comes out June 18th. If you haven't pre-ordered already, do it. I'm actually going to be buying everyone a coffee on Tuesday if we hit 2,000 pre-orders. I get a report every Tuesday on how many pre-orders we got. So if you pre-ordered yesterday after I did a live, thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't pre-ordered yet, the time is now. You get access to a bunch of freebies. You get entered to win a 12-week video training program exclusively for ladies. You can get all the details over at ketoforwomen.com on how to pre-order, how to get all the freebies, how to enter to win. And if we get another 200 pre-orders, I'm going to be buying a large Starbucks card, taking a screenshot of it, and you guys can just go to Starbucks and use that screenshot to treat yourself to a coffee. Okay. Also, I wanted to share with you that Perfect Keto put together a 20% off coupon code for these events where I'm reading to you about the book. So if you're thinking about getting Perfect Keto stuff, or maybe you already have stuff in your cart and you're like, I'm not going to spend that much money, use the coupon code COOKBOOK20 for 20% off until the end of June. Now you can only use it once, so choose wisely. Okay, I'm going to see what you guys are saying. All working from here. Awesome. Thank you so much. Sometimes Instagram works, sometimes Facebook works, sometimes YouTube works. It's just a cluster. Okay, I'm keto. What inflammation? Very good question. So a lot of us start to have issues. Well, a lot of us have inflammation just by the foods we eat, the lifestyle we have. And when we go keto, sometimes it gets worse. Usually it should get better. What's the consistent, getting ready to also order cookbook. What's the consensus on spiral bound? Seems handy. I have no idea how this option is available because it's not actually. I feel like people did it and then are selling their books. I have no idea how it works, so I can't say on the quality or anything. But yeah, sounds super handy. I wish all cookbooks came spiral bound. Can you get Perfect Keto shipped to Canada? You can. I have many times. Hey, Dory. I have all, okay, perfect. Good questions. Okay. Joints part of inflammation? Yes. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to read to you. Now, I used my Keto Man as a bookmark. Hey, it's not just a snack. It's a great bookmark. And when you get hungry while you're reading, come on. I wasn't paid to say that. I'm just saying it's great. Okay, so I'm reading from page 251 of the book. This is a, what did we end up at? 416? A 416 page book. It's all words and graphics. There are no technical recipes in here, but I do show you how to cook just by throwing things together instead of carrying a whole bunch and stressing yourself out about it. So it's going to be good. So this is in the inflammation reduction section. There are about 8 pages. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but we'll definitely try and see how far we can go. Inflammation has a bad reputation, but it's not all bad. In fact, it's necessary for life. When you bang your knee or when bacteria or a virus enters your body, inflammation is called to the site thanks to your immune system, bathing the area in fluids, proteins, and blood. This process creates swelling and heat to protect and repair the damage and encourage healing. This is a healthy inflammatory response. An unhealthy inflammatory response is when inflammation becomes chronic, when that short-term heat and swelling becomes long-term, producing a steady low-grade inflammation. It ultimately contributes to the development of disease. Why does this happen? In part, it's due to an overactive immune system that initiates inflammation even when there is nothing to heal. I love all the hearts. Keep it going, guys. All the colors. The body keeps reacting to what it thinks is a problem, never shutting itself off. So in each of the sections where I talk about a health imbalance inside my newest book, Keto for Women, if you're just joining, that's what I'm reading from, I give a how to test it section. So it outlines blood tests, urine tests, stool tests, saliva tests that you can take if you want to go the next step to discovering what your body's reacting to, and it outlines exactly what to test for. So in here, I talk about the HSCRP test, which is a test that measures CRP in the blood to detect inflammation. And also what might be helpful if you think you might be dealing with inflammation is a homocysteine test, and that indicates the levels that can indicate whether your body is undergoing a healthy amount of methylation, a process that influences your brain, hormones, immune system, and gut. If homocysteine is imbalanced, it could be a sign of increased inflammation. June 18th can't come fast enough. And if you guys haven't heard yet, I'm going on tour. So I'm going to be going on tour at the end of August through September. So if you head on over to my Facebook page, Healthful Pursuit, or my Instagram stories, I've given you a way to submit where you're from and where you think I should go. So if you haven't already submitted your response, please do that. I need all the responses by Monday, and then I'm going to meet you guys in real life. I'm so excited to be able to make this happen. And September should be a very good month. I didn't think this would happen, so it's just a very nice surprise. Okay, I got some questions on Facebook, so we're just gonna, exciting, Bobby says. Okay, awesome. Today is my birthday. Oh, and June 18th was my mom's birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Okay, many of us think of inflammation as a contained reaction or situation when in reality it affects every part of our body. Inflammation plays a role in autoimmune conditions, cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and more. That's why we should care about our inflammation levels or inflammatory levels. Inflammation levels. You know what I'm saying. It can be triggered by various factors, but the most interesting of all factors is fat cells, which can trigger a steady release of substances that attack healthy nerves, organs, and tissues when there is no actual invader to attack. As we gain weight, more of these substances are released, affecting our body's ability to use insulin and sometimes lead to type 2 diabetes. This same reaction can have an effect on our hormones, possibly leading to amenorrhea or low testosterone, and can cause impaired memory and cognition, depression, suppressed immune function, and pain. Now, earlier on in the book, I think it's in like the 50s, I talk about brown adipose fat tissue and how it's a little bit different. And so there are different types of fat, and I'm not saying that all fat is bad fat. Zen Master, I have trigger finger in 3 of my fingers. Is this an inflammatory issue? It is. I actually deal with the same thing. Whenever I eat something imbalanced, my body reacts by making this finger hurt a whole bunch. The only thing that makes it really bad is like soy oil, specifically canola oil. Those are about the 2, like especially if things are fried in soy oil, it's like game over for me. Okay, signs you have too much inflammation. I'm just going to show you this graphic and then I'll read from it. So this is the one that I'm referring to. So we have allergies, asthma, autoimmunity, chronic diseases such as diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, autoimmune disease, depression, digestive issues, headaches, heart disease, high cholesterol, joint pain, diseases inflammation is related to. Basically all of them. All of them. So then we get into the section. So each of the sections that I've outlined as common things that women deal with, it starts off with autoimmune support, goes into inflammation support, gut support, candida support, food sensitivity and allergy support, food intolerances, gallbladder, lymphatic system, cardiovascular system, nervous system, keeps on giving. So in each of these sections, I've outlined what it is, your diet adjustments, your additional adjustments, and supportive supplements that you can take. So that's what's outlined. Is an endocrinologist a specialized doctor to consult for this? For inflammation, no. An endocrinologist can help you with your hormones. I haven't known of a conventional doctor to be up to date on inflammation and the causes or the effects that it has on the body. But if anyone knows of a doctor that's like really in it on inflammation and understands that it's a huge factor in many of our health issues, let me know. Comment. I would love to know. So diet adjustments. If you have signs of inflammation, you've tested for inflammation, you're like, I think I got inflammation. Thankfully, the ketogenic diet is in and of itself an anti-inflammatory diet. So following the 3 steps to fat-fueled freedom on pages 81 to 2013, there's a lot in there, will do wonders for reducing inflammation. However, if you find inflammation is still lingering after you've become fat adapted, here are some additional dietary adjustments that you can make. Supplement with exogenous ketones. This can be really helpful if you're having a massive inflammatory problem, like when my scalp really reacts with my psoriasis. I take a ton of exogenous ketones and it really helps reduce the inflammation on my scalp. If you don't already follow it, switch to the classic keto fat fuel profile outlined on page 199. Fast more often and drink green tea in the morning during your fasts. You can see page 138 for more on fasting. Have hot water with lemon and fresh ginger before bed. Spend 10 to 20 minutes in an infrared sauna 2 to 3 times per week. I'm trying a new handheld red light sauna situation. I've been doing it now for 5 days, and I'll have a review up on the blog next month after I've tried it for 30 days. So that could be also really helpful. If you're dealing with inflammation, you can just put it right on the source. It starts at $200, this little handheld thing, and you can travel with it. I'm pretty impressed with it so far, but I'll let you guys know what I decide in 30 days. In regards to the doctor situation, I agree with you, Key Life. More Eastern acupuncture medicine, I couldn't agree with you more. You're going to find way more support going that route, specifically acupuncture with inflammation. I've had the same experience, so I agree with you. Congratulations on the tour, says Julie. How about Canada? I'm definitely going to Canada. It's my home country. I'm going there. Yes, definitely go check out my stories. I'm also going to be sending out a newsletter on Sunday with a link to the survey. If you're on my newsletter list and you get little messages from me, be sure to watch for that. Definitely going to Calgary. If you live in Calgary, I will be there. I will be there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, then I get into the healing foods. So Keto for Women has an interesting concept in it. Something I've used with my clients for quite some time, but never shared in any of my books because I try to keep all of them original and awesome. I outline a little food pyramid, and then throughout the whole book, I show you how the different, how the different adjustments for imbalances lay into that pyramid. So while the basic pyramid may tell you that spices to enjoy are all of them, if you have an inflammation issue, then you're going to want to focus on certain spices to help with your inflammation. Now, I do offer some supplement support, but I really find that adding food to your eating style is the best course of action because it's the easiest to incorporate. Fasting will also help with your inflammation. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Are you coming to Dallas? If you tell me I should come to Dallas, I will come to Dallas. There's a little survey that you can fill out in my stories. I'll also be adding it into my profile. You can also see it on Facebook. I'll also be sending you an email on Sunday if you're on my newsletter list so that you can submit the survey. And basically wherever you guys tell me to go is where I'm going to go. Except Calgary, I'm going there regardless because that's my hometown and I need to go there. Okay, so some of the ultra healing foods, if you're experiencing inflammation, include the extras. So the extras are things like spices, condiments, that sort of thing. So you have garlic powder, black pepper, cinnamon, coriander, cumin, turmeric, sage, thyme, rosemary, dillweed, basil, a whole list there. Then you have your starches and fruits. Now, the fruits may contain excess levels of carbohydrates. Now, this is just regarding people who do carb ups, which I explain in this book in a bunch of detail that's different than the detail that I share. In my first book. Okay, it's a little bit different. Also, I thoroughly enjoy looking at the difference between the pictures on these covers. Yeah, it's really fun. If you see them all at a bookstore, just look. It's a fun progression between a couple of years to see. So starches and fruits include blueberry, cranberry, lemon, and papaya, also great for inflammation. Protein is going to include chia seeds, hemp seeds, salmon, sardines, and walnuts. Non-starchy vegetables are broccoli, celery, red cabbage, and healthy fats are going to be avocados, chia seeds, and flax seeds. So chia seeds are one of those things where, like, if you're vegan, you're going to consider it to be a protein. If you're not, you're probably going to consider it a healthy fat. So I like to make sure that I'm including all sources of all things to try to include as many people as possible, including the vegans and the vegetarians of the world, because they need stuff too. Peggy on Facebook says, I can't wait for your new book. Excited from Washington. Is this new book appropriate for those who are postmenopausal by a lot of years? No sex hormone issues. Yeah, I have a whole section in here about postmenopause, menopause, perimenopause, all the things. And regardless if you are 20 or 60 or 70 or 80 or whatever age you are, a lot of this stuff has nothing to do with relying on balanced hormones or caring about hormones to follow this book, if that makes sense. Okay, so, and then at the base of each of the ultra healing foods, I say water, like always water, drink water. Okay, shifting it back. Now we have additional adjustments. So I'll read from there. And if you guys have questions, feel free to post them. I will answer them as I go. I think coffee might be the cause for my inflammation. Could be. Try switching to green tea. It can be helpful. Also, Earl Grey tea can be helpful. And you might want to try a decaf coffee and see if it's the caffeine in the coffee that's causing the inflammation or the coffee itself. It could also be the source of coffee. So if you really love coffee and you can't imagine your life without it, a good step you can take is try decaf, see if it's helpful, or try switching up the type of coffee that you're drinking, because it could just be the coffee that you're drinking. Is your next book going to be an autobiography? Good question. I have no idea. I'm excited to get this book. How do you measure or feel inflammation? We talked about that a little bit earlier. There's a section in here that says how to test for it and signs that you could have it. The HSCRP test and the homocysteine test is usually the best if you want to go with like actual scientific data, which I really like. Like, I'm all cool for like adjusting my food and seeing how things go, and if things improve, awesome. But if I'm feeling really lost and I don't know which way is up or down and I'm just really frustrated, the numbers tell all. And they're just a much better way of assessing what's actually happening in your body than guessing. And if you do have access to tests, I always recommend just getting a test so that you know what's going on with your body. Okay, additional adjustments. Saying yes to discovering your food sensitivities and allergies. That's a big part to discovering what's causing inflammation, like we just talked about the coffee. When you eat foods that you're sensitive to, the gut becomes inflamed, which can exacerbate leaky gut issues. See page 243. Follow the elimination protocol on page 277 to determine which foods you might be sensitive to. If you're just joining us, I'm reading from my newest book, Keto for Women. You can find all the details by going to ketoforwomen.com. Healing your gut. Inflammation often goes hand in hand with leaky gut. See page 243. So healing your gut can help reduce inflammation. If you find that your gut needs additional support, follow the advice in the gut support section on page 256 in conjunction with this section. So the two are very linked. Moving your body. Inactivity causes inflammation. Living a sedentary life causes elevations in inflammatory substances and C-reactive protein. That's that CRP that we were talking about, which is associated with inflammation and negatively impacts every organ in the body, particularly the heart. So if you hate working out, that's okay. You don't need to like go to the gym or get a membership or pay a lot of money. Just go outside, go for a walk. Go for a walk in the morning, go for a walk at lunch, go for a walk in the evening. I don't care. Just move your body. You know what I do when I'm driving long distances and I haven't moved my body for a while? I crank up the tunes and I'm like dancing as I drive. You can pull over. You can do a little dance for 5 minutes, just anything. Get out, move your body. I don't care what it is. And you don't need money to do it. And I think a lot of us get like stuck on the whole, like, I need a cute outfit to go to the gym and I need all these things before I do it, or I need to lose weight before I go to the gym. Nobody cares. Just get there, move your body, because at the end of the day, the only one who's suffering by not moving your body is you, right? And it's just not worth it. Okay, high quality foods. Poor quality foods such as conventionally raised beef, dairy, poultry, and eggs can increase inflammation due to the imbalance of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Oh, I wish I had. Hey, Kevin, do you want to grab the krill oil in the snack cupboard? It's like pink, and it's in the top left drawer or shelf. I'll show you guys the oil that I use to balance out my omega-3s. So with the power of television, top shelf, left side, pink bottle, and it's black. Dun 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 dun. So this is a supplement I use from Perfect Keto. It's called Keto Krill. It's really, really rich in omega-3s. So I supplement with this just to help with inflammation, especially when this finger starts doing funky things. I know to take more of it. And why is it keto krill? Like it's just krill oil? Well, it's not. There's MCT in here. So it's MCT oil. Yeah, so if you're like disaster pants crazy with MCT oil, I wouldn't recommend this product. But if you take a little bit of MCT oil and you're fine and your gut's okay, this stuff. Okay, moving on. Also avoid high processed foods like conventional hot dogs and sausages. And although sugar is already out on strict keto, if you're practicing cyclical ketosis, make sure to choose healthier carbs. I'll leave that to you. Disaster pants. You know what I'm talking about, girl. It happens to the best of us. Daily stress reduction. Chronic stress increases systemic inflammation. Yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, Qigong, Tai Chi have all been scientifically proven to reduce stress and inflammation. If none of these feel right to you, find a self-care practice that does. Maybe an unhurried walk in nature or a relaxing bath or just sitting alone with headphones on, listening to your favorite music. I do this a lot. This is like my self-care constantly. It's just like sitting with my big headphones. Where are my big headphones? Oh, these bad boys. I bought them for myself for Christmas. I love them. They're the Bose headphones. Did I say that right? Bose? Bose. I put these bad boys on, noise canceling, and I just sit there with some good music. I highly recommend Trevor Hall. For women, inflammation is more of a problem postmenopausally due to lower levels of protective estrogen. This is one of those things, like our culture tells us that we shouldn't have high estrogen because it causes cancer and all the things, but if we don't have enough, we're going to deal with inflammation, which causes cancer. So it's always just like, seriously, which one is it, guys? And I think it's really about just like leading with what makes you feel good, and listening to your body is really the key. So then we get into the additional adjustments, saying no to. And guys, I promise we're almost done. I just want to give you as much support with this. We have like 1 page left. Dairy. If you're dealing with high levels of inflammation, it's best to avoid all dairy products completely until you've determined whether dairy is safe for your body through the methods described on page 277. Overtraining. Exercise is essential to a healthy life, but it can be overdone. Overtraining can cause a depletion in the amino acid glutamine, which is essential for a healthy immune response. Overtraining also causes an increase in inflammatory substances. Athletes who overtrain tend to have high inflammation and may experience chronic infections, depression, fatigue, irritability, digestive disturbances, and flu-like symptoms. If you are training for a competitive sport or like to exercise for over an hour a day, please be mindful of these possible outcomes. Natrif 3, keto improves my skin, no acne anymore, but if I cheat on keto, how I have inflammation, is it normal? Yeah, it is normal. So if you're going to, I hate the word cheat. Can we just say, if you're going to eat things that are different than your daily things, just be mindful of what gives you inflammation and what doesn't. It's not like an all or nothing thing where like you can't go off plan and like all of a sudden you have inflammation and you feel like hot garbage. There have to be foods that'll make you feel good, and it's just about determining which ones make you feel good and which ones don't. And I can just about guarantee that there are non-keto things that make you feel pretty good. Sugar and refined carbs. If you're practicing carb ups or any other kind of cyclical keto, sugar and refined carbs may spike your insulin and blood sugar, cause weight gain, and increase in free radicals, all of which increase inflammation. High blood sugar and high inflammation both trigger the release of inflammatory substances. Now, just because, I just want to preface this as a side piece. Just because there are foods that cause a spike in blood sugar in some, it might not cause in others. Like I can get away with eating quite a lot of carbs now that my metabolism is much better than it was when I started keto. And so I'm not having that inflammation reaction because my blood sugar isn't spiking up and I'm not having the same reaction that I did before. So definitely keep that in mind so you can live your best life. Alcohol can trigger chronic inflammation because of its effect on the lining of the gut, which allows bacteria to pass through the gut lining and cause inflammation. Omega-6 rich foods, say no to these bad boys. Conventionally raised beef and dairy have a higher ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, making them more pro-inflammatory. Conventionally raised poultry and eggs, as well as nuts and seeds, also contain high amounts of omega-6 fatty acids. Avoid these foods if you're already dealing with high inflammation. So if you're like an inflammatory bomb and you're just trying to like get things out of like in control, it might be best to avoid the high omega-6 foods, even though they're quote unquote healthy, because they're just not good for your body right now. And that's why nutrition is so individual and that there isn't just one list that everyone can follow, because we're all coming at it from a different angle and we all require something a little bit different. Okay, last section is supportive supplements. Those include vitamin C, D, and E, herbs and plants, including curcumin, boswellia, willow bark, and cycloneja. I can never say this. Sinaja. See, I have moments too. I think I just call it nogenel, but I know that's not right. So here's what it looks like. Right there, where my finger is. If anyone knows how to say that word properly, please let me know, because I never know and I always struggle with it. Hey, not all of us can be like smart and stuff. Others, MSM, glucosamine, chondroitin, plant enzymes, omega-3 fatty acids, alpha lipoic acid, grapeseed extract, green tea extract, and NAC. So those are some of the supplements you can go with. You do not have to. That's why I recommend a bunch of actions, lifestyle actions, healing foods, what it all is. Oh my gosh, this is like the best textbook for just living your best life. I'm just so happy about this book. I'm going to tab this so I don't do this video again in the future throughout these virtual book readings. Yeah, so if you just joined us and you didn't know what the heck I was saying, this is Keto for Women. It's my newest book that comes out June 18th. If you haven't already pre-ordered, I definitely urge you to go to ketoforwomen.com to get your freebie, get entered to win my 12-week video training for program, including lifetime VIP coaching, like phone consultations, and ongoing lifetime support for keto and your lady body. And when you pre-order, you get, you're entered to win this, plus you get a bunch of freebies, plus you help me. That's a big deal. Yeah, all the hearts for helping Leanne. I need all the help I can get. So again, that's ketoforwomen.com. The book comes out June 18th, but when you pre-order, you lock in the best price. You're guaranteed a copy. You help me out a bunch. You support a lady business from Canada that's just trying to make it in the world. And if we get over 2,000 pre-orders by Tuesday, I'm going to buy a Starbucks gift card, take a screenshot on stories, and share it with y'all. And it's like an honor system. So if you've pre-ordered, you can use it. Buy yourself a coffee. And I'm just going to go snuggle with this book a little bit longer. I love her so much. I've just been holding her. Good size, beautiful pages, nice and smooth cover. And I will add the survey on my Instagram, so you guys can enter that, or just go to my stories. Let me know where you're from, and if you'd like me to come to your city in the US or Canada, we will make it happen. I will see you in September. So exciting. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to try to do another live this weekend. Maybe we'll do like a Q&A. That'd be fun. So get your questions ready, and I will see you soon. Bye. Bye, guys. Ooh.